We'll
I don't
probably
know
be
if
like
I
20 minutes.
All right, we're live. Hello, I'm Courtney with Animation Force, and with me today we have Chris.
Marty Cooper. Uh, oh, is that me?
Yeah, go.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Hi, Marty Cooper. I'm the creator of Augmented Reality, the short that has animated characters on cells that I hold up into the frame with my iPhone. I don't know if, yeah. So, yeah.
Great, great. Well, yeah, we wanted to have you on so that we could just see what your idea was behind it, how you got into it, and hopefully inspire some other animators and wannabe animators with just your your drive to actually come up with something. So I guess what I first wanted to ask was what got you to do it? Like how'd you come up with the idea, and then what made you follow through with that?
Yeah, well, it started out as just I was just shooting stills. I would do a drawing and then hold it up, and well, actually, yes, so I was doing that for a while and then posting it to Instagram, and you can actually see on my Instagram like it's all stills. There's a bunch of stills, and I started doing it like a year ago or a little over a year ago. I did just experimenting with a few, and I was like drawing on a whiteboard in my dad's workshop, which is like this big warehouse. And I was like, oh, that'd be kind of cool if I could like make it look like this character on the whiteboard is actually existing in the workshop. So I started using glass and expo markers, like just like a plate of glass and then drawing with dry erase, and that it actually worked like better than I thought. And then I remembered like that the classic animators, for forever have used cells, so I went out and bought some transparent overhead projector frames and just filled it in with whiteout and then started experimenting with that. And you could see on my Instagram account from like over a year ago some really early experimentation with that. And then I got a job and got sidetracked, and then recently went back to it and started doing the stills again. And then I started getting a lot of feedback from my friends and stuff, and people were really into it, and that kind of made me more excited to make more and to push myself to kind of see how far I could take it. So I started, I tried my first animated one, which was the one where the little laundry monkey jumps into the dryer. And for that one, it was, I animated the whole thing like straight ahead, just did it just to get it done, just to see what it would look like. And I didn't think it would even work at all. I was like, whatever. And then I shot it, and I was really surprised at how you could actually see the character was actually pretty smooth, and it actually worked, and my hand wasn't too distracting. And so that was a big surprise for me, and it was exciting. Yeah.
Wow, that is super cool. That it just started with that little idea that you're just kind of having fun with, and also, I mean, going straight ahead with animation is tough, because you don't. Well, it's fun because you don't know where it's going to end up, but that's awesome, like that it works.
Yeah.
So well, that early.
I mean, I drew like keyframes on one piece of paper, and like planned it out like that. But then when I'm animating it, that's still how I do them nowadays. It's just straight ahead, and they're see-through, so I can I just lay them on top of each other, and then I can see 3 or 4 frames back, and it's actually really forgiving because you don't have to worry so much about the registration and the size of the characters. Like if you're what's it called, proportions or whatever get out of or the size gets bigger or smaller, you can always hold the frame a little bigger or smaller from the camera when you're shooting it.
Oh yeah.
So it's actually like more forgiving than it seems. But also I should mention that I use a stop motion app on my phone. So it's called Stop Motion Recorder.
Okay.
And it's got a grid, and it does onion skinning, so I can see the previous frame when I'm shooting it, which is like you can't animate without that, or at least I couldn't, or without like some kind of peg bar or something holding it in place. So yeah, that's kind of my process.
Well, that's neat. That would be really helpful as well. Yeah, the onion skinning is I mean, I use that in any time I'm using any kind of digital art application or anything like that, or Photoshop, just
Sure.
So, did you have a question, Courtney, or?
Yeah, I do. Let's see. Which one should I ask first? I actually have a list of questions. I don't know if you saw that, Christopher.
I don't know, did I?
Anyway, let's start with my first question, which was, when did you get started with art, and did you want to animate, or was it just a new idea?
Yeah, well, I started drawing when I was like a little kid. I'd always just draw with my brother like all day long. It was like what we did for fun, just doodle stuff. And then kind of started, actually, I got more into like stop motion and making little movies and stuff when I was really little. And that was really fun. And then made like a bunch of skate videos when I started getting older, got into that. And then in high school, I kind of got back into drawing and started doodling like all over my high school papers, like they were just filled with drawings and not very many correct answers. And then I became the cartoonist for my high school newspaper and kept just doodling and drawing. And then at that point I knew I wanted to do illustration or animation. Actually, I was thinking illustration. But then I went to school at San Jose State for animation and illustration, which is an amazing program. They have the best instructors, and it's a really cool group of kids and enthusiastic students and stuff. So getting pulled into that environment was amazingly helpful. And I never really knew about animation, but the teachers there and the classes really they have you working with traditional animation like for the first few years, so you're just doing hand-drawn animation, and I really fell in love with it there, like animating and stuff like that. And so that's kind of how I got into animation. But then from school I graduated as a storyboard artist. I went on and worked at Blue Sky and Real Effects and Rovio as a storyboard artist. That was probably your next question. But I don't know.
Like Chris has a question or a comment about it.
Oh, I mean,
yeah,
that's super cool because I've looked at some of those myself. I mean, one of the reasons I started Animation Force is because I'm an aspiring animator myself. But I've been teaching myself just through drawing a lot and learning as much as I can through the internet. But Blue Sky, I used to live close to New York, and they had an office in New York City, so I considered, trying to apply there, except that I had no computer background with computer animation, so that's pretty cool. I guess with that, I would ask, what are you doing now, and what is, do you have like an ultimate goal? Is there like, are you hoping to do something specific with animation or with storyboarding or work at a specific place? or are you
Yeah,
playing?
right now is kind of an interesting time for me because, well, I've started, animating on cells just a few months ago when I was working at Rovio, and then they rolled off a bunch of storyboard artists, and so I had a bunch of time to kill, and started doing that, and then like it kind of picked up steam, and then I have been doing some like freelance advertisement work and stuff like that that's kind of been paying for my living expenses. Um, but then with this video, and it's really kind of caught on, and a lot of people are watching it, and I've gotten a lot of offers for, I don't know, to um, develop things into things, but I don't know, I don't know what exactly I want to do or where I'm gonna go with it, or I don't know. I like the idea of building a YouTube channel and starting to put more work on there. I think YouTube's a cool outlet because you get such a direct connection with your audience.
Right, right.
So
I've been hearing about a lot more animators who are ditching freelance and trying to make more of a career just online and directly with like a fan base.
yeah, I mean it's difficult because you need like so many viewers. It's like you can't really make money off it unless you have like a million subscribers or something, which is ridiculous. But I don't know. Could be fun, and it's I don't know. It's just a new avenue for animators to explore, and I don't know if it's really been explored that much with. I mean, there's a lot of YouTube channels, but I don't know if there's that many. Well, no, I guess there are. It's probably been totally explored. I just don't know about it that much. So,
I've
but
seen
yeah,
animators on there. You don't think of any like the way you think of just YouTube celebrities. Some of those people who are a personality on YouTube. But I do think that it's probably being used more and more, but probably more as a side thing. I don't know. Something to
yeah,
explore in the future, I guess.
yeah. I
Yeah, I
think
think
so. Yeah,
I was going to say I think Cartoon Hangover is probably the best example of a celebrity animation YouTube channel, but that's the only one I can think of, and I'm sure there are plenty other ones, but the challenge is having the attention. And I think you've been very fortunate in how people have seen your work and been inspired by it and want to talk about it. So I'm very
yeah,
interested to hear
yeah.
that.
There's people like Pez, Pez's work,
I
PES.
I haven't heard of it
He
actually.
does like the stop motion stuff with like he did that short Western spaghetti or the fresh guacamole where he turns like all those random household objects into guacamole.
Yes, I did see
Um,
that.
yeah, he's puts all this stuff on YouTube and has a big channel and stuff, but he uploads like once a year or something. So it'd be I don't know channel something like that would be fun to try to explore, but uploading as frequent as possible. I don't know. Who knows?
Right.
Or I don't know, but what I mean, I started out like my whole project started out on Instagram, so I still post everything on Instagram, and so I post every day on Instagram, and that links directly to my Facebook page. So, but I post daily. I go, what is it? And then there's a video every 3 days. So I post 2 images and then a video. And that's kind of the schedule I've been on for the last, I think, 2 months. And so yeah, so that's really been helping me to have that schedule and to have to meet that deadline, to have an image every day and a video every 3 days. It really pushes me to stay on top of things.
Mm. Yeah, I think that's really important. Just as an artist myself, like the hardest part is making yourself do it sometimes, and if you have a schedule like that, that can really help. And also, I think for what we were just talking about with internet views and stuff like that, you're more likely to get a following if you have a regular schedule of publishing, or have you seen significant growth in your followers on Instagram? Was that growing before you got noticed with all of this?
Yeah, I mean, it was growing slowly with the images and stuff. Like, it was posted on Reddit, and I think it made the front page of Reddit, just the images. And then I had like 10,000 followers on Instagram from just the images, and then I was on the front page again on Reddit for the video I made, and got another 10,000 followers on Instagram. So I don't know. I mean, it's not. Oh yeah, I don't know. So there's definitely some growth in followers, but it's not like astronomical numbers.
You can't really rely on getting featured, I guess. It won't.
Yeah.
even if you could somehow figure out how to regularly get featured, which I don't think anyone's figured that out yet. It's only, that only does so much.
I don't know. I mean, there's some. I don't know, there's probably some agencies or people that know how to do that, but I don't have that right now.
Court, do you have other questions?
Oh, another thing I was going to say, along those lines of forcing yourself to do work, that's a big thing for me. Or just like to get yourself to do work, that's what I really like about this medium of drawing on the cells, is when I'm working on the computer, it's really hard for me to focus and start animating stuff on the computer. And I've got like a Cintiq and all the tools and everything, but it's just, for some reason, the tangible aspect of it, okay, I have one cell here, all I need to do is ink it, and then it's like a visible, tangible thing that's done, and then I can just build on that until I have a finished animation. I have to shoot it and stuff, but I don't know. There's something that's more, I guess, rewarding, or more. I don't know, it's just easier to get myself to finish the project, or to do it, to start it when it's something tangible, and I can see my results immediately. And yeah, so it's an interesting medium, because I don't know. I always, when it's on the computer, for some reason I overthink it. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do this, and then I start to plan out everything, and then draw the backgrounds, and then by the time I've did the layout for the first few backgrounds, I'm like, oh, the idea's not good enough to keep doing all this stuff, and I second guess myself, and then the idea never gets done. So with this, I don't know, you can just force yourself to make it happen, and then you have something immediately.
That's great.
Helps me.
Right. What?
I don't have very much time. I've got to get back to work. But I just wanted to hear kind of what you think about what sort of shows you grew up watching for cartoons, what inspires you as far as film or shows.
Yeah, well, I grew up watching. I grew up in the '90s. I was born in '87, so I watched a lot of the. Ren and Stimpy and Beavis and Butthead and Rugrats, and then I watched later Dexter's Lab. My favorite, one of my favorites is I didn't really watch this when I was a kid. I kind of picked it up later, but Clone High. That one's really funny. And then as far as like movies and stuff, I'm inspired a lot by documentaries, like character-driven documentaries, like American Movie, or let's see, what else? My favorite movie of all time, though, is Being There by Hal Ashby. I don't know if you've seen that. It's an old 70s movie. It's amazing. The Apartment is a really good movie. I like 70s movies. I think that was it's like the sweet spot in film where it's old enough where there's not like the new like glamour and glitz of like the Hollywood era and all the explosions and stuff like that. There's still like really good character work, but it's also new enough where it's not like black and white, and you can still relate to the characters, and it's pretty edgy and experimental. The Graduate. Yeah, so those movies inspire me a lot. And then let's see, like Errol Morris documentaries. Yeah.
So how do I mean, you said a lot about characters, so how does that affect how you design your characters? Do you give them personality, you think?
Yeah, I try to. I mean, I try to give them, I try to make them like not one-sided characters. Like they would be, so they're happy characters, but they're a little like bit of them that's has like is aware of their mortality, or like they're a little bit more human and they make mistakes, and they're like when I'm animating things, I try to think of like the things that I do personally and put those in there. The things that like I do when I'm by myself and no one's watching, because that's the stuff that everyone kind of does, and we all don't talk about it. But I don't know. I don't know if you saw the one I did after the video was published of the board air freshener in the parking garage.
I didn't see that one.
It is on my Instagram account, but it's just like this board air freshener that just is doing is. I don't know. It's doing what I would do if I was bored, which I don't know. He like karate chops a cup, and I don't know. But I feel like I try to avoid a lot of the animation. There's a lot of like stock animation reactions and things like that I try to avoid. I can't think of anything offhand, but yeah. So character, definitely try to inject some kind of character into all my drawings.
Yeah, I think that's a really good thing to think about, when you're creating a character of well, I mean, I guess people are, told to test things, or you see cartoons with like the takes and stuff like that all the time, and it's just like, I think injecting a human trait into it, even if it's something like an air freshener, that's what's gonna make people relate to it, or and what you relate to is what you find funny or what you find captivating, especially when it's coming out of something that's not human.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
Well, I'm out of time. If you guys want to keep talking, you're welcome to. But otherwise, do you have anything else you want to say?
No, I don't know.
I think that's a good place to leave it. I think we covered a lot of it, and also I'm not quite sure how to end this. And,
I can end it.
okay. But yeah, I guess I just want to say thanks so much for your time, and I think you definitely inspired me, through just your dedication to keep doing it, especially because you have a job, you have jobs with animation and stuff, and you're still trying to make that stuff that you personally want to make. And I think it's easy for people to, aspiring animators or people who are in animation, to get lazy or just, do what they're supposed to do and forget about their personal drive and their personal goals. So I think it's
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a lot of work, but I think just taking off little bites at a time it helps a lot, So yeah.
cool.
Well, thank you for the interview. I don't know if any of it's usable, but if you have any
Totally
if you
usable.
have any other questions or anything, just send me an email. Don't hesitate about anything. And yeah, send me a link when the article's up.
Definitely will, and yeah, maybe we can collaborate with you in the future, just with Animation Force and whatever. I'm hoping to just continue to inspire community and just inspire artists and animators, around the world with this site. And so,
Yeah, are you guys still in? Are you in New York?
No, we're actually, most of us are locally in Lexington, Kentucky area, but like I've just invited, writing staff from different places all around the country and in some cases the world. So, so we're kind of all over the place. I just say USA because we mostly focus on the States, but yeah, I'm really interested in animation coming from Asia and Europe as well, and anywhere. But yeah, it's really just trying to inspire that community
For sure.
Collaborative, So
awesome.
Well, thanks again, guys. I'll be in contact with you guys soon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Talk to you soon.